Lesson 8.1, Adding and Subtracting Polynomials. The objective of this lesson is to classify, add, and subtract polynomials. Vocabulary. A monomial is a real number, a variable, or a product of a real number and one or more variables with whole number exponents. Degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables of a monomial. The degree of a non-zero constant is 0. The number 0 has no degree. A polynomial is a monomial or the sum or difference of two or more monomials. A quotient with a variable in the denominator is not a polynomial. Standard form of a polynomial is the form of a polynomial that places the terms in descending order by degree. Degree of a polynomial is the highest degree of any term of the polynomial. A binomial is a polynomial of 2 terms, and a trinomial is a polynomial of 3 terms. Monomials. Problem 1, finding the degree of a monomial. So let's look at the term 5x. The degree here is 1. Remember, degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables. So 5x can be written as 5x to the first power. The only variable here is x, and the only exponent is 1, so therefore the degree is 1. The next one, 6x cubed y squared. The degree here is 5. The exponents of the variables are 3 and 2. When you add them together, their sum is 5, so the degree of this monomial is 5. The third example, 4. The degree here is 0. 4 is a non-zero constant. There are no variables attached to it. We can also write it as 4x to the 0 power, and the degree of a non-zero constant is 0. Problem 2, adding and subtracting monomials. This is very important. You can add or subtract monomials by adding or subtracting like terms, meaning they have to have the same variables raised to the same exact exponent. If they do not have the same variables raised to the same exponent, you cannot add or subtract them. 3x squared plus 5x squared is equal to 8x squared. Combine like terms. Do not add the exponents. Only add or subtract the coefficients. They both have x squared, so they are like terms. The coefficients are 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 is 8x squared. 4x cubed y minus x cubed y is equal to 3x cubed y. Now, although you do not see a coefficient over here, you should know that the coefficient is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3x cubed y. Polynomials. A polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials. An example here is 3x to the 4th plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 1. The polynomial shown above is in standard form. Standard form of a polynomial means that the degrees of its monomial terms decrease from left to right. So the exponents go from highest exponent to lowest exponent. The degree of a polynomial in one variable is the same as the degree of the monomial with the greatest exponent. You can name a polynomial based on its degree or the number of monomials it contains. So here's a table that explains how you can name a polynomial by its degree or the number of terms. So 6, the degree is 0, name using the degree is constant, number of terms it's 1, so this you can name this a constant monomial. 5x plus 9, linear, only has the degree is 1, so it's linear, and it has 2 terms, 5x and 9, so it's binomial. 4x squared plus 7x plus 3, it's quadratic because the degree is 2. And there are 3 terms, 4x squared, 7x, and 3, so it's a quadratic trinomial. 2x cubed, it's cubic because of the degree is 3, and there's only 1 term, so it's a cubic monomial. And 8x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 3x, this would be called a 4th degree because the degree is 4, and there are 3 terms, so it would be called a 4th degree trinomial. Classifying polynomials, which is exactly what we were doing in the chart. Problem 3, write each polynomial in standard form. What is the name of the polynomial based on its degree and number of terms? Remember, standard form is the highest exponent to the lowest exponent. So 3x plus 4x squared. To write this in standard form, we would write 4x squared first plus 3x. Place the terms in order. So there are 2 terms here. We see the exponent of 2, that's the degree, so it's quadratic. 2 terms is binomial, so this is a quadratic binomial. Always start off with the word that describes the degree. Second one, 4x minus 1 plus 5x cubed plus 7x. 5x cubed first, it's positive, so 5x cubed plus 7x plus 4x minus 1. We can combine 7x and 4x because they are like terms. So the standard form is 5x cubed plus 11x minus 1. So we see that the degree of this polynomial is 3, so that's cubic, and there are 3 terms, so it's a cubic trinomial. Adding and subtracting polynomials. Now this is a little different than adding and subtracting monomials, so this can seem a little confusing at first, but we will do some examples at the end. Adding polynomials. You can add polynomials by adding like terms. Problem 4. What is the simpler form of negative 7.1x squared minus 180x plus 5,800 plus 21x squared minus 140x plus 1,900? If we add horizontally, we're going to group our like terms, and then we're going to add the coefficients. So I see negative 7.1x squared, and I see 21x squared, so they are like terms. I see x squared and x squared, so I'm going to add those. Plus, I see negative 180x, and I see negative 140x, so negative 180x minus 140x, because they have the like term x, plus, and my constant terms are 5,800 and 1,900. So those are my 3 combinations of like terms. Now I'm just going to add their coefficients, which becomes 13.9x squared minus 320x plus 7,700. That's adding polynomials. Let's look at subtracting polynomials. Recall that subtraction means to add the opposite. So when you subtract a polynomial, change each of the terms to its opposite, then add the coefficients. Problem 5. What is the simpler form of x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 7x cubed plus 5x squared minus 12? So we're going to subtract horizontally. When you subtract polynomials, you're going to keep the first polynomial the same. You do not change any of the signs. However, you're going to change the sign in front of every term in the second polynomial. So we keep x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x. Now here we have positive 7x cubed. That's going to change to minus 7x cubed. We have plus 5x squared. That's going to change to minus 5x squared. And we have minus 12. That's going to change to plus 12. Right? The opposite of each term in the polynomial being subtracted, the second one. Then you just add the coefficients. So then it becomes an addition problem. So we have x cubed minus 7x cubed, those are like terms, plus negative 3x squared minus 5x squared, that's the other set of like terms, plus 5x does not have a like term, and plus 12 does not have a like term. So we just group our like terms and we're going to add them. So we get negative 6x cubed minus 8x squared plus 5x plus 12. Again, we'll do more with this tomorrow. Let's do some sample problems. Let's do some easy ones. What is the degree of the following monomials? 8xy. I know that x is an exponent of 1, y is an exponent of 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Negative 7y to the 4th z. Z has an exponent of 1, 4 plus 1 is 5. And the constant 11, there is no variable. However, it's not the number 0, so the degree is 0. What is the sum of negative 6x to the 4th plus 11x to the 4th? These are adding monomials. They are like terms because x to the 4th, so I know that's going to be in my answer. And then I just add the coefficients. Negative 6 plus 11 is positive 5. Number 3, write 2x minus 3 plus 8x squared in standard form. What is the name of the polynomial based on its degree and number of terms? Remember, standard form is highest exponent to lowest exponent. So plus 8x squared means positive 8x squared. That goes first. 2x is positive 2x, so plus 2x. And my constant minus 3. That's standard form. Now, the degree here is 2. That means quadratic. I'm just going to leave it like that. And the number of terms, there are 3 terms, so it would be a quadratic trinomial. Okay. What is a simpler form of negative 4m cubed minus m plus 9 minus 4m squared plus m minus 12? This is a problem from subtracting polynomials. So I'm going to keep the first cubed minus m plus 9, and I'm going to change the sign of everything next. So this is positive 4m squared, so I'm going to make it minus 4m squared. That says plus m, I'm going to write minus m. and that says minus 12. I'm going to change it to plus 12. Then I'm going to group my like terms. Let's see. I have negative 4m cubed and nothing else. So that's easy. I'm going to write negative 4m cubed. I see negative 4m squared. That doesn't have anything alike. That's also easy. And then I see negative m and negative m. That makes negative 2m. And positive 9 and positive 12 makes plus 21. That would be the simpler form.